I want to tell you about two people, same income, same work ethic, both invested for 30 years. One ended up with $400,000, the other over $2 million. They didn't pick different stocks. They didn't have some secret strategy. The only difference was the order they invested in. And that's the mistake almost everyone makes. Not what you invest in, not how much, but where your money goes first. Today, I'm going to give you the exact order of operations for investing in 2026, step by step, with every dollar amount, every account limit, and every tax rule updated for this year. If you follow this order, you could keep hundreds of thousands of dollars extra over your lifetime. If you get it wrong, you'll work longer, pay more in taxes, and wonder why your money never seems to grow fast enough. Let's fix this today. Before we get to the investing order, I need you to do something honest. I need you to figure out where you are right now. Because here's what I've learned. The reason most people feel stuck with money isn't because they're lazy. It's because they're doing step 5 when they haven't finished step 2. They're buying stocks when they still have 18% credit card debt. They're chasing dividends when they don't even have 1 month of expenses saved. It's like building a house starting with the roof. It looks productive, but the whole thing is going to collapse. There are 6 stages of wealth, and they look like a staircase. Stage 1 is survival. You're living paycheck to paycheck. Bills are stressful. Savings barely exist. Right now, roughly 60% of Americans describe themselves as being in this stage. That's not a judgment, that's just reality. Stage 2 is stability. Bills are covered. You've stopped the bleeding. You're starting to save a little. The biggest shift here is that you've gone from reacting to money to actually controlling it. Stage 3 is security. You've got 3 to 6 months in an emergency fund. Toxic debt is gone. Retirement investing has started. This is where the foundation is solid. Stage 4 is growth. This is the big one. Your money is working harder than you are. Compounding becomes visible. Net worth rises every year. This is sometimes called the boring millionaire phase, and I call it boring because the strategy is simple. The hard part is being patient. Stage 5 is freedom. Work becomes optional. Investments cover your living expenses. Financial stress is gone. Stage 6 is impact. Money becomes a tool for legacy, generational wealth, giving, purpose. Now, here's the secret that the wealthiest people figured out early. The jump from stage 3 to stage 4 is where wealth explodes. Because once your savings rate plus time in the market are working together, it matters more than how big your paycheck is. Most people never make it past stage 4. My goal for you today? To show you the exact path to get there and beyond. But first, there's a myth we need to destroy. Because if you believe this myth, the order of operations won't matter at all. Here's what most people believe. If I just invest more, everything will work out. It sounds logical, but it's wrong. Let me show you why with real numbers. Sarah and Dave both invest $7,500 a year for 30 years. Same amount, same return. At the end of 30 years, they both have about $1.23 million. But here's the difference. Sarah put hers in a Roth IRA. Every penny of that $1.23 million is hers, tax-free forever. She owes the government nothing. Dave put his in a regular taxable brokerage account. When he sells, he owes capital gains taxes. In the 22% bracket, that could cost him over $200,000 in taxes on the growth alone. Same amount invested, same stocks, same returns, but Sarah kept over $200,000 more just because she put her money in the right account first. That's why the order matters more than the amount. The account you choose determines how much the government takes, and over 30 years, that difference is enormous. So here's the investor's truth. It's not about how much you invest, it's about where your money goes first. The people who understand this, they build real wealth. That's who we are on this channel. Now let's get into the exact order, starting with the step most people skip entirely. I know you came here to learn about investing, and I promise we're getting there. But if you skip this step, everything else falls apart. Step 0 has 2 parts. Part 1, know your numbers. Before you invest a single dollar, you need to know exactly where your money goes every month. Not a rough guess, the real number. Write down all of your income, then write down every fixed expense: rent, mortgage, insurance, car payment, subscriptions. Then go to your last 3 months of bank statements and find the averages. How much on groceries, gas, dining out, everything else. Add up the expenses, compare it to your income. If those two numbers are close to each other, that's exactly why you feel stuck. That gap between income and expenses, that's your investing fuel. And right now, you need to know exactly how big or small that gap is. Part 2, the emergency fund. This is not an investment, this is insurance. It's money you set aside and never touch unless something genuinely goes wrong. Job loss, medical emergency, car breaks down. Your first goal is 1 month of living expenses. If your bills are $5,000 a month, you need $5,000 in this fund. Eventually, you'll build it to 3 to 6 months, but start with 1. Where do you keep it? A high-yield savings account. Right now, in February 2026, the best ones are paying between 3.3 and 4.2%. That's real interest on your safety net. Compare that to the national average savings rate of just 0.39% at your local bank. Put it somewhere like a Capital One 360, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, or an American Express high-yield account. Your money sits there, earns interest, and waits for an emergency. And here's the good news. With inflation at 2.4% right now, a savings account paying 3.5% or more means your emergency fund is actually growing faster than prices are rising. That hasn't been true for years. Once your budget is clear and you've got that 1 month saved, you're ready for step 1. And this is where it starts getting exciting. Step 1, get your 401k employer match. If your employer offers a 401k match, this is the single best return on investment you will ever find. Here's how it works. You put money into your 401k, your employer puts in more money to match it. The most common formula is 50 cents for every dollar you contribute, up to 6% of your pay. Let me put that in real numbers. You earn $60,000 a year. You contribute 6%, which is $3,600. Your employer matches half of that. That's $1,800 of free money every year for doing nothing except saying yes. About 85% of employers with a 401k plan offer some kind of match. But here's the painful truth. 1 in 4 workers doesn't contribute enough to get the full match. On a $60,000 salary, that's $1,800 a year left on the table. Over a 30-year career, that could cost you over $300,000 in missed retirement savings. You don't need to max out the 401k right now. Just contribute enough to get every last dollar of that match. We'll come back to maxing it out later. Step 2, kill the high-interest debt. This step isn't fun, but it might be the most important one. If you're carrying credit card debt, the average interest rate right now is 20.97%. Let me say that again, almost 21%. The S&P has averaged about 10% per year over the last century. So here's the math that changes everything. Paying off a credit card charging 21% is the same as earning a 21% guaranteed tax-free return. No stock, no ETF, no crypto in history has delivered a guaranteed 21% return. Nothing comes close. Americans are carrying a record $1.28 trillion in total credit card debt right now. The average balance for someone carrying debt is almost $8,000. At 21% interest, that $8,000 costs you nearly $1,700 a year just in interest payments alone. Kill anything above 7% interest. Credit cards first, then personal loans, then car loans if they're high. Once that weight is off your back, everything we do from here gets dramatically more powerful. Now, you've got your emergency fund, you're getting your 401k match, your high-interest debt is gone or almost gone. This is where most people stop, but this is exactly where the real wealth building begins. Step 3, the most powerful account in America. If I could only pick one investing account for the rest of my life, this would be it, the Roth IRA. And I'm going to explain it why it's so powerful in a way that I think will genuinely change how you see your money. Think of it like planting a tree. In a normal investment account, you plant the seeds, the tree grows, and every time you pick an apple, the government takes a piece, forever. In a Roth IRA, you pay a small tax on the seeds up front, but then every single apple that tree ever produces is yours. The government never touches it again. Not when it grows, not when you pick the apples, not when you retire. Never. Now, let me show you what that actually means in real dollars. In 2026, you can put up to $7,500 a year into a Roth IRA if you're under 50. If you're 50 or older, you can put in $8,600.
In 2026, if you're single and earn more than $168,000 or married filing jointly earning more than $252,000, you can't contribute to a Roth IRA directly. But there's a legal workaround called the backdoor Roth IRA. It's still completely allowed in 2026. You contribute to a traditional IRA, then convert it to a Roth. Congress has tried to close this door several times, but it's still open. If your income is above the limit, look into this. It's worth it. All right, you're getting your match, debt is gone, Roth IRA is funded. At this point, you're doing better than the vast majority of Americans. But the next step is the one that separates the wealthy from everyone else, and almost nobody talks about it. Step 4, the secret weapon nobody talks about. This is the account that makes tax professionals smile, because the HSA has something no other account in the entire tax code has: a triple tax advantage. Let me break that down simply. Number 1, the money you put in reduces your taxable income. If you contribute through payroll, it even avoids Social Security and Medicare taxes. Number 2, everything inside the account, the dividends, the interest, the growth, grows completely tax-free, just like a Roth. Number 3, when you take money out for medical expenses, it comes out tax-free too. No other account does all three, not even the Roth IRA. The Roth gives you tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals, but you don't get a deduction going in. The HSA gives you all three. In 2026, you can contribute $4,400 for individual coverage or $8,750 for a family plan. If you're 55 or older, add another $1,000 on top. The part that blows people's minds, you can invest your HSA money. You don't have to leave it sitting in cash. You can buy index funds, ETFs, stocks, the same things you'd buy in a Roth IRA. But about 88% of HSA holders leave their money in cash, completely missing the investment growth. And here's the real secret for this audience. Once you turn 65, the 20% penalty for non-medical withdrawals disappears. After 65, you can use your HSA money for anything, not just medical expenses. Non-medical withdrawals get taxed like regular income, which makes it work exactly like a traditional IRA. But medical withdrawals, still completely tax-free. Oh, and one more thing. No required minimum distributions, ever. Your 401k forces you to start withdrawing at 73. Your traditional IRA does too. But the HSA, the money can sit there and grow tax-free for as long as you live. 2 quick warnings. First, you need a high-deductible health plan to qualify. Not everyone has one. Check with your employer. Second, if you live in California or New Jersey, your state doesn't recognize the HSA tax benefits. You still get the full federal advantage, but you'll owe state taxes on contributions and earnings. Every other state honors it. If you're eligible, this account deserves to be funded right alongside your Roth IRA. For some people, it should even come before the Roth. Step 5. Open a taxable brokerage account. Now, most financial advisors would tell you to max out your 401k next, and for some people that's the right move. But here's something I've learned from real people who've actually built millions. Many of them told me the same thing. They wished they had started a taxable brokerage account earlier. Here's why. All your retirement accounts, the 401k, the IRA, the HSA, they're locked until you're 59 and a half. If you want to stop working at 55 or even 50, where does your income come from during those years before you can touch retirement money?
A taxable brokerage account is the bridge. It's money you can access at any age with no penalties. And if your income is low enough in early retirement, you could pay 0% in long-term capital gains taxes. In 2026, a married couple filing jointly pays 0 capital gains on the first $98,900 of taxable income. You don't need to start big. Maybe it's $100 a month, then $200, then $500. The point is to start building that bridge now while time is on your side. Step 6. Max out the 401k. If you made it this far, you're already doing better than 90% of Americans. Now it's time to go all in on the 401k. In 2026, you can contribute up to $24,500 if you're under 50. If you're 50 to 59 or 64 and older, you can add an $8,000 catch-up, bringing the total to $32,500. But here's the big one for anyone watching who's between 60 and 63. Thanks to the Secure 2.0 Act, there's now a super catch-up. You can contribute up to $35,750. That's the highest individual 401k contribution limit ever. Let me show you what this looks like. $24,500 a year, invested at 10% for 30 years, grows to over $4 million. You would have contributed $735,000 of your own money. Compound interest added $3.3 million. Traditional or Roth 401k? Quick note, many employers now offer a Roth 401k option. Same contribution limits, but the money goes in after taxes and grows tax-free. If you're in a lower tax bracket now than you expect to be in retirement, the Roth option could save you a fortune. If you're in a high bracket now, the traditional 401k might make more sense because it lowers your taxable income today. And one new rule for 2026, if you're over 50 and earned more than $150,000 last year, your catch-up contributions must go into the Roth side. That's a new Secure 2.0 requirement. It doesn't apply to everyone, but if it applies to you, it's important to know. Step 7. Advanced strategies and the cost of waiting. Once all the basics are handled, this is where you start building something extraordinary. Real estate, dividend growth investing, individual stock picks, maybe even a small allocation to Bitcoin. This is the stage where wealthy people take calculated risks because they've already built a fortress around their finances. They have the emergency fund, the retirement accounts, the bridge account. Now they can afford to swing for bigger returns because their foundation is solid. But I want to close with the most important number in this entire video, the cost of waiting. Person A starts investing $500 a month today. Person B waits 5 years and then invests the same $500 a month. After 30 years, Person A has roughly $1.13 million. Person B, who waited just 5 years, has about $663,000. Person B invested only $30,000 less in total, but they ended up with almost $500,000 less. 5 years of waiting cost nearly $500,000. Time in the market isn't a cliche. It's the most expensive variable in your financial life. Every month you wait is money you can never get back. So let's bring the full order together. Step 0. Budget and emergency fund. 1 month minimum. High yield savings account. Step 1. 401k up to the employer match. Free money. Step 2. Destroy all high interest debt. Anything above 7%. Step 3. Max out a Roth IRA. $7,500 a year, tax-free growth forever. Step 4. Fund an HSA if eligible. Triple tax advantage, no RMDs ever. Step 5. Open a taxable brokerage account, your early retirement bridge. Step 6. Max out the 401k, $24,500 to $35,750 depending on your age. Step 7. Advanced strategies, real estate, dividends, calculated risks. Now, I have to say this clearly. I am not a financial advisor. This is not personalized financial advice. Everyone's situation is different. Tax rules are complicated and they change. Always do your own research or talk to a professional before making investment decisions. But now that you know the right order, the next question is this:
What do you actually buy inside these accounts? Which ETFs? Which index funds? I'm breaking down the best ETFs to put inside your Roth IRA, your 401k, and your brokerage account in the next video. It's going to be a game changer. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. And before you go, I want to hear from you. Which step are you on right now? And which step felt like the biggest unlock for you? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Keep building. I'll see you in the next one.